Welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rhines, and I'm excited to bring you another episode absolutely free. This is one of over 80 episodes released monthly for your enjoyment. Now, let's get into this episode.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver, the Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger continued his fight for justice long after outlaw bands and hostile Indians were a thing of the past in the western United States. There were still criminals who evaded the law rather than defying it. There were still honest men and women who stood in danger of losing life and property. Men and women whom the law could not help and whose only hope for justice lay in the masked rider of the plains. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! We're heading for Mercer City. Tom is waiting on the trail ahead. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
A woman in her early 30s mounted the steps of one of the larger houses in Mercer City, crossed the porch, and rapped on the door.
Good afternoon, Mum. Something you wanted?
There most certainly is. I wish to speak to my husband.
Huh?
I'm Mrs. Christy.
Well, now, Mum, there must be some mistake. Mr. Christy lives here right enough, but I never heard as how he had a wife. You sure you've come to the right place?
This is where Thomas Christy lives?
Yes, that's
Then
right.
I've come to the right place. And my husband's going to have plenty to explain. Just stand aside.
Now, wait, Mum. You can't go in.
Where is my husband?
Mr. Christy's in his room.
Well, then
but
I'm
you
going
can't...
there. Show me the way.
Mum, wait. There's some mistake, I tell you. He don't
Are you going to take me to him, or must I find him myself? Very well. I'll find him.
No, wait, please, Mum.
Now, don't try to stop me.
But you can't go in there.
What's going on out here?
Mr. Foster, this lady's claiming to be Mr. Christy's wife, and...
Oh, it's you, is it? Well, now maybe I'll get to the bottom of this.
Yes?
Why hasn't my husband written me? Why do I have to come all the way from Texas to find out?
One moment. Jed,
Yeah?
have you repaired my saddle as I asked you?
Not yet, Mr. Foster. I ain't had time.
Then
but
see
I'll-
to it at once.
You mean...
At once.
Sure, Mr. Foster, sure.
And now then, we can talk.
I'm not here to talk to you, Mr. Foster, even if you are my husband's lawyer. I'm here to see Tom.
Why do you think he hasn't written you?
That's what I mean to find out.
Mrs. Christie, I'm going to speak frankly. We're alone, so if you see fit to repeat anything I say, I can always deny it. We're the only witnesses to this conversation.
Well?
I hate to say this, but your husband wishes a separation.
That's not true.
Unfortunately, it is. I'm sorry for your sake, and I've done my best to make Tom come to reason. His mind's made up. He's perfectly willing to see that you're provided with what monies you'll need for your support.
I won't believe any such thing until Tom tells me so himself.
It won't do any good to be stubborn.
I'll tell him I'm here and I'm not leaving until he's talked to me.
I can't. When your husband inherited the JX ranch upon the death of his uncle, he employed me to come here with him as his legal advisor. If I were to go against his wishes now, it would mean my dismissal. Surely you appreciate my position.
I don't know why and I don't know how, but if Tom wishes to leave me, somehow you're behind it. Just as surely as I'm standing here, you're behind it.
Please.
I never trusted you, and I told Tom so before he went to you.
Well, if you're going to question my honesty,
I
can...
I most certainly do. Why, Tom and I never had a quarrel in the 10 years we've been married. I love my husband, Mr. Foster, and he loves me. Unless you've done something to poison his mind against me.
I'm afraid you're letting your natural anger affect your discretion.
Is that my husband's room?
Well,
Is it?
Well, yes.
Then I'm going in there.
You can't.
Hey, what in the dickens is all the chatter for out here? Who's this, Foster?
She,
Who are you?
Me? Well, my handle's Christy, ma'am. Tom Christy. Why?
You're not. Oh, Mr. Foster, where's my husband? What have you done with him?
Ma'am, if Tom here isn't your husband, then I'm afraid you must have made some mistake.
Don't lie to me. You came to Mercer City with my husband, and you know it. This man is not my husband. You're up to something.
Don't excite yourself, please.
Either you tell me what's become of Tom, or I go to the sheriff.
Hey, Foster, what's the matter with her, eh? Is she local?
I very much fear that she is.
All right. It's easy enough for the two of you to laugh when I ask questions. Now we'll see if you laugh when the sheriff questions you.
Ma'am, I promise you we'll be happy to answer 1,000 questions for the sheriff if he wishes it.
We'll see.
Foster, I don't know if this is so doggone funny or not. She ain't fooling. She'll go to the sheriff just like she said she would.
And welcome. I've prepared the sheriff.
Just the same,
And
I
if
don't...
you're still worried, forget it. I intend to call on the sheriff myself.
Sheriff Muncie listened with interest to the strange story told him by the woman who called herself Beth Christy.
And now, Sheriff, some man is here passing himself off as my husband. I want both him and Mr. Foster arrested.
Not so fast, ma'am. I want to get all this straight. I reckon you'll admit yourself you told me a story that ain't easy to believe.
Every word I've told you is the truth.
Uh-huh. You say you never heard from your husband in all the time since he left Texas to come here and claim the ranch was left him.
That's right.
Well, that was nearly 4 months ago. Didn't you think it kind of funny you didn't get no word at all?
No, at first I didn't. Tom's a poor hand at writing. Of course, I hoped for letters, but I didn't really expect any right away. It wasn't until so much time went by and my letters were ignored that...
Well, you don't sound crazy.
Sound crazy? Oh, why should I?
You want the truth?
I've made a 1,000-mile journey to get it.
Then I'll give it to you straight. Mr. Foster's already mentioned you to me. Fact is, he spoke of you several times.
Yes?
Never mind, I'm just repeating what he told me, ma'am. What he said was that where he come from, it was well known that you weren't quite right in your head.
Oh, the very idea.
That you got funny notions, and being hitched to Mr. Christy was one of them.
It's a lie. Every word he told you's a lie. Sheriff, don't you realize what this means? Mr. Foster told you this just to discount in advance anything I might say. He's done something to my husband. Perhaps he's killed him. And he and this imposter are getting ready to steal the JX ranch for themselves.
That's a mighty serious accusation, ma'am.
And true.
Well, I don't...
Well, I see she came here, Sheriff.
Mr. Foster, what do you mean by lying about me to the sheriff? Do you think I can't prove the truth? Do you think for 1 minute you can get away with anything like this and the law not find it out?
Sheriff, surely you don't believe this woman.
Foster, I don't know what to think.
But you can
Oh,
see
I recollect all you told me about her believing it herself. But just the same, even though she tells a funny story, in some ways it sounds kind of convincing. And she sure don't act crazy.
You forget, Sheriff, that it's quite possible for a person to be insane upon one subject while entirely sane about everything else. It's well known. I can show you where...
You're the most wicked man I've ever known.
Please,
Keep still. Sheriff,
Yeah?
it's clear that Mr. Foster's made it impossible for you to accept my unsupported word. Unfortunately, I brought no proof of my identity with me. I had no idea that any such proof would be necessary.
Well, I sure wish you had brought it, ma'am, if there is any.
If you want to see justice done, it won't matter.
No?
Would you accept the word of the sheriff at home?
Why, of course.
Very well, then. Write him for the truth. Sheriff Price has known me for years. He'll tell you that Mr. Foster's lying. It'll probably take between 3 weeks and a month for a reply, so in the meantime, I demand that you forbid Mr. Foster or this man calling himself my husband to dispose of any of the property they've claimed. Will you do that?
I certainly don't see anything against it.
No. How do you like that?
I think it's a splendid arrangement.
What?
As a matter of fact, I'd intended to make the identical suggestion myself. Sheriff.
Yeah?
You have my word that none of the JX property will be sold until this matter is cleared up to your satisfaction. On one condition.
What condition is that?
That if you find I've told you the truth, as you will, that you permit me to make arrangements for this woman's care. Of course, Mr. Christy is in no sense responsible for her mental condition, but nevertheless he feels he should do what he can to help her. Under the care of a doctor, she might...
You're hateful.
Mr. Foster, that can wait. But I'm writing that letter and sending it to Texas today.
Good.
Fine.
And for now, all I got is this to say. One of you is lying fit to bust. And when I find out which one it is, I'll make the fur fly.
It did not take long for the story of the conflicting claims to spread. And several weeks later, after a trip to Mercer City, the Lone Ranger's faithful Indian companion Tonto returned to their secret camp and repeated what he had heard.
I want to have a look at these people you told me about, Kemosabe, so I can make up my mind about them for myself.
Me, Ryan?
It won't be necessary. Wait for me here. I expect to be back before dark. Come on, Silver. Come on.
Several hours later...
Sheriff, they told me the letter has come. Have you read it? Did it say what
You'd better sit down, ma'am.
But
take your chair. You'll likely have a couple of minutes to wait.
But can't you tell me?
I ain't even opened the letter yet, ma'am. All I know is that it must be the one because it's got Sheriff Price's name written on the back of the envelope.
But why haven't you opened it? Oh, read it, please. Don't you see that
I ain't opening it till Mr. Foster and Mr. Christy are here, too. I've sent for them. They should be along right quick now. Then we'll all get to the bottom of this together.
But you'll arrest them if that letter backs up my story.
So doggone fast, ma'am, it'll make their heads swim.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
And here they come now. I told you wouldn't have long to wait.
Good afternoon, Sheriff. You sent for us?
I did, Foster. Howdy, Mr. Christy.
Howdy.
Hello there, Doc. What are you doing here?
I asked Dr. English to accompany us. I hope you have no objection.
Sure not. Help yourselves to chairs. There's enough to go around, I reckon.
Here, what you want us for, Sheriff?
I have a letter from Sheriff Price.
And it says?
Well, what it says, I don't know. Like I was just saying before you got here, I didn't want to open it till you was all here at once.
Well, we're here. What's holding you back?
Nothing. We'll see what's in it right now.
Mr. Foster.
Yes?
I wonder that you had the courage to come here when you know that the truth will see you jailed.
Ma'am, we're not here to argue. One way or another, this will be decided when the sheriff has told us what that letter says.
Oh, please, what does it say?
Here, just a second. I ain't quite finished with it. Ah.
Yes?
Now, ma'am, promise me you ain't going to take on none. I ain't doubting at all that you believe every word of what you told me. But it's just a wrong idea you somehow got in your head.
You mean that...
Sheriff Price writes the same as when was told me by Mr. Foster and Mr. Christy here. He says your real name's Mrs. Johnson. And it's well known where you come from that you ain't just exactly responsible for the notions you sometimes get.
No. Sheriff Price would never write that. It's not true. You haven't read the letter right. You can't have.
I asked you not to make a fuss, ma'am.
Thank you, Sheriff, for permitting us to prove our honesty.
Well, that's all right. I hope this delay ain't caused you too much trouble.
Not at all. I'd like to remind you of the suggestion I made earlier. Knowing what the letter would say, we brought Dr. English with us.
Yeah?
At our request, and unknown to Mrs. Johnson, of course, he's had her under observation. He believes with time he might effect a cure. Mr. Christy is willing to pay him to make the attempt. Dr. English would take Mrs. Johnson into his home
You can't. Sheriff, you have to believe me. This is a trick, I tell you. Please,
hush,
you must...
ma'am. Hush now.
Well, Sheriff?
Mr. Foster, if you want my opinion, I think after all the trouble this lady's caused you, it's one of the finest offers I've ever heard made. I got no objection at all. I only hope the doc can help her.
Take her with you, Doctor. Perhaps you'd better help, Christy.
Come on, Mrs. Johnson.
Let me go. Sheriff, don't kill me just like they must have killed Tom. You don't know what you're doing, Sheriff. Make them let me go, please. Please, make them let me go.
This for your own good, man.
Just go along peaceable, ma'am. It ain't going to do you no manner of good to kick up a rumpus.
Please, you can't.
Come on.
woman.
In many ways, a most excellent woman, Sheriff. It's a pity that she's so obviously insane.
Hail, Silver, away!
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. It was just at dusk when the Lone Ranger returned to the camp where Tonto was waiting him.
Oh, Silver. Oh, boy. Oh, there. Oh. What you find out?
Several months they got word from Texas that bore out Foster's story.
Oh.
And yet,
What matter?
Tonto, I don't know. Foster and Christy both claimed the woman was insane. Sheriff Muncie wrote to Texas and got an answer stating their claim was true. That should be all there is to it. We needed other places, Kemosabe, and we have no excuse for staying here now that this matter is settled. But somehow, Tonto, I can't help feeling something's wrong. That something's going on here we know nothing about.
Why you think that?
That's exactly it, Tonto. There's not one reason in the world, as far as I know, why I should think it. And I can't get it out of my head. I think what's troubling me most is that I disliked both Foster and Christy when I first saw them. Foster's too smooth, and Christy reminds me more of an outlaw than a prosperous rancher.
That right.
And I can't forget how terrified the woman who claims to be Mrs. Christie sounded when Sheriff Muncie allowed a doctor employed by Foster to take her away. Insane or not, she was in fear of her life.
Not bad.
We should ride on, Kemosabe. But
What we do?
But we're not. Tonto, we don't leave this district until I've learned my suspicions are false.
Several days later, in the home of Dr. English.
Oh, hello, Foster.
You've kept me waiting, Doctor.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here. I've been in my patient's room to see that she eats her food.
How is she?
Weaker? Much weaker.
Does she suspect
That her food is poisoned? Certainly not. I told you I'd give her only small amounts at a time. You see, I want it to look as though she's gradually failing from natural causes. I've already explained to the sheriff that she may not live.
You told the sheriff that?
No, there's no cause to be alarmed. I had to tell him something, didn't I? If he wasn't given to understand that she was ill, how would I be able to explain her death afterwards?
Yes. Yes, perhaps you're right.
And, of course, I explained that I was doing everything in my power to save her.
You're a good man, English. I see you're going to be worth what you're costing us.
Did you doubt that I would be?
I take nothing for granted. Nothing and no one.
You'd be a fool if you did. By the way, I'm glad that you came. There's something I've been wanting to ask you.
Yes?
That letter the sheriff got. Naturally, I knew it hadn't come from the authorities in Texas, but I was wondering how you'd manage it.
Very easily.
Easily?
When Muncie wrote, I offered to take the letter to the post office. But I didn't mail it. Instead, I mailed a letter I'd written to a friend of mine. Acting upon my instructions, he replied to Muncie, signing Sheriff Price's signature. Simple, huh?
Very. And this fellow you call Christy, who is he really?
Aren't you getting rather inquisitive?
Well, after all, I'm certainly in this deeply enough to be trusted, aren't I?
I hope you don't forget that. If you ever do talk, well, you'll pay just as surely as we will.
But Christy...
Isn't Christy.
Huh?
Ever hear of an outlaw called Yank Billings?
I think so, yes. Why?
Well, that's the man you know as Christy.
You mean you hired an outlaw to play the part?
Exactly.
You fool.
Careful, man.
But what if he's recognized? Good heavens, if the fellow's an outlaw, there must be a dozen lawmen who know him by sight. What if one of them were to ride this way? What if...
They did, they'd simply remark he resembled Billings and let it go at that.
Yes, but
because in 2 weeks' time, the man they believe to be Billings will be dead.
Dead?
I got word of it today. The man they're holding in Kansas as Billings was just tried and sentenced. He's to be hanged on the 1st of the month.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Why do you think I hired Billings to play Christie's part?
I don't know. I supposed you were friends.
I don't make friends of outlaws unless there's a reason for it. No, English. That isn't the answer. I hired Billings because he resembles Christie very closely.
I see.
And the man they tried and sentenced in Kansas is the real Tom Christie.
Well...
I saw to that. I turned him over to the law there with enough faked evidence to hang him 1,000 times. As his lawyer, I possessed all his credentials. Those credentials established Billings as Christie. And the real Christie and his wife are dead. The only 2 people in the world who would question his identity will be out of the way.
Splendid.
And not only that, but Christie's death will end the law's search for Billings.
You had this plan better than I thought, Foster.
Everything's blown over. We sell Christie's property here and skip out.
Soon?
As soon as I think it's safe. English. Perhaps you're thinking I talk too much. But I've had a purpose in telling you this.
Yes?
I want you to realize fully just how important it is that Mrs. Christie dies without her death attaching any suspicion to us.
Take my word for it, Foster. It won't.
Good. If it does, it means the loss of a fortune and our necks.
That evening, Sheriff Muncie drew his horse to a stop in front of his office.
Oh, boy. Oh, there. Oh, boy. Evening, Sheriff. Where you been?
Down to Doc English's place, Sam.
Yeah? Say, is it straight what they're saying? That woman there is mighty sick?
Doc says you don't hardly expect her to live.
Gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, well, but maybe it's for the best. If she's crazy like I hear tell.
Sure, she's out of her head right enough. Failing fast. Poor Doc's been working so hard to save her, he looks near tuck it out.
I heard that, too.
Well, that's the way things happen sometimes. Can't be helped, I reckon. You'll have to excuse me, Sam. I got work to do inside.
Oh, sure.
Don't light that lamp, Sheriff.
What the?
And don't call out.
A masked man.
Right.
You.
We're going to have a talk.
What are you after?
Justice.
I don't
and
know.
a woman's life.
Makes sense.
I will. Sheriff, you've been tricked. The woman who claims to be Mrs. Christie is Mrs. Christie. The man you know as Christie is an imposter. And Foster's behind the whole scheme.
You loco?
English is in Foster's pay. And he isn't trying to save Mrs. Christie's life. He's attempting murder.
You're as crazy as she is.
He's slowly poisoning her.
If you ain't crazy, then you're up to some crooked game.
My information comes to me from a friend who wouldn't lie, Sheriff. He stayed close to Foster without Foster's knowledge. Ever since you received the letter you thought came from Sheriff Price.
Get out.
You're not going to give me a chance to prove what I say.
I said get out.
I'm not leaving, and neither are you. Sheriff, lock that door.
What do you
We're
mean by...
We're staying here until it's time to act, Sheriff. We're not going to be disturbed.
It was not long after this that Foster and the man who called himself Tom Christie were startled with the sudden appearance of Dr. English.
What's up? Hey, what's the idea of busting in here without knocking?
Who's around?
Look here, English, you can't...
You want us to hang? Huh?
What's that you said?
Let me talk. Answer my question. I'll be alone.
We are. What's happened?
I heard an Indian talking to Mrs. Christie through the window of her room.
You let someone talk to her when you went around?
Do you think I would have if I could have helped it?
Go on.
She's got friends, Foster. Who they are outside of the Indian, I don't know, but they mean to help her.
What? They can't.
They can if we don't do something about it.
But I tell you...
I know they can. I heard Mrs. Christie tell the Indian there's evidence she overlooked that would prove her identity.
What evidence?
I don't know. She didn't say. The Indian hushed her up. I think he guessed I was listening at the door.
You clumsy idiot.
I suppose you would have done better.
I couldn't have done worse. I'll bet you never even got a look at that redskin. I'll bet you don't know where he went, when he left,
Maybe
what he...
not. But I do know he's coming back.
When?
Tomorrow night. He promised her just before he left.
I don't like this. Foster, if things go wrong, if I get turned over to the law...
Shut up! Trying to think.
What do we do?
There's one thing we can't do.
What's that?
Let her talk to that Indian again.
But if he has friends...
You said he's returning tomorrow night?
Yes.
Very well. Let him.
Yes, but
It'll do him no good. Yank, get our hats.
What for?
We're going back with English.
You mean...
Mrs. Christie's been sick, hasn't she? Well, she dies tonight. Yank, get a move on.
Less than 30 minutes later, Dr. English rapped lightly on Mrs. Christie's door.
Are you awake?
I'm awake. Foster.
Good evening.
How you feeling, ma'am?
Get them out of here, Doctor. Get them out.
But what's the matter?
They want to see me die. They're killers. They killed my husband. Get them out.
Oh, I'm sorry you feel this way, ma'am. We just called because we've been told you were ill and wanted to see how you were...
Please get them out.
Of course, if you'd rather not talk to them. Here, drink this first, then we'll leave.
What is it?
Just something to make you well again. Now drink it down. It won't taste bad at all.
No.
But you have to take medicine when I order it, you know. And just as soon as you've taken it, we'll leave you to yourself. Come on now.
Very well. You say I must?
There, that's much better.
Don't touch that.
Say, what?
Come along, Sheriff.
Sheriff, what are you doing here with a masked man?
That's my business.
But I...
Quiet. Now to keep them covered.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Christie, give me that glass.
Here, leave that alone. That's her medicine. You
This
can't take
is
that.
medicine, huh?
It is. She needs it. Give it to her at once.
And if it's medicine, Doctor, you shouldn't be afraid to drink it.
But
Swallow this.
Let me go. No, take it away. Sheriff, can't you do something?
I don't see why I'd object to drinking that there stuff if it ain't harmful, Doc. Come on, let's see you down it.
No, I won't.
Then perhaps Foster will.
Keep that away from me.
How about you?
No, I won't touch it.
Sheriff, this fellow has no right to order us around. He's...
Just a second.
But can't
the
you-
masked fella said it was mighty likely you fellas would be trying to poison this here lady. I'll tell you frankly, I told him he was loco. But it's beginning to look as though maybe he wasn't.
He is.
Then I'll leave it up to you to prove it. If he was lying, you can prove it in just 1 second by drinking what's in that glass.
But
If you won't drink it, then it's plain enough he was telling the truth.
Wait, no, please,
I'll force it down him.
No, stop it. No,
That's all the proof I need. Stranger, you was right.
Well, blast you out.
Watch out, me get him.
Oh, my arm. Oh.
Another move from one of you and you'll get worse.
You three skunks just heist your hands. Another try like that, and I'll blast you myself.
You got us into this English. You hadn't been fool enough to let the Indian hear you.
Foster, you got things twisted around.
Huh?
It wasn't the doc here that let the engine hear him. It was the engine and Mrs. Christie that let themselves be heard.
What are you talking about?
The masked man told me your scheme. The engine talked to Mrs. Christie when he knew the doc would be listening. All that about coming back again tomorrow night was just to fool you. The masked man figured it'd force you to try and shut Mrs. Christie's mouth before tomorrow night come around.
Tricked.
Yes, so.
Sheriff, make them tell what they've done with my husband.
Ma'am, that was something I near forgot.
Yes?
The masked fella told me to tell you not to worry.
But
He's got a good notion where your husband is, and he's promised to get him back for you safe and sound.
Oh, thank heaven.
Now, you fellas, start marching, and don't waste time. You've got a lot of explaining to do before you hang.
Come on, Silver! Tunnel's waiting for us outside of town. We've got to hurry. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
The Lone Ranger thundered into the small camp he shared with his faithful Indian companion Tonto, not far from Mercer City.
Oh, Silver! Oh, boy! Oh, there! Oh, Tonto!
What matter? There's plenty the matter. Call Scout.
Here, Scout.
It's good he's saddled. We have to ride, Tonto, and ride fast. I just came from town. Tonto, the sheriff's been murdered.
What? What, Pat?
And we've been blamed for it.
Oh, that bad.
Bad? It's even worse than it seems to be. You know what this means, Kemosabe? We exposed Foster and Yank Billings and Dr. English. We proved that Mrs. Christie wasn't insane, and that those three planned to kill her. But now the only man who knows we proved it is dead. We are blamed for his death, and nothing Mrs. Christie can say will be believed, because Foster made the townspeople think she's insane. The sheriff had no chance to tell them the truth.
And what we do?
First, Mrs. Christie must be rescued. Then we can plan our next move. Ready, Tonto?
Me ready.
Then let's go. Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout! Silver! Away!
In Mercer City, the brutal murder of Sheriff Muncie had shocked everyone. Lem Shilley, Muncie's chief deputy, but now acting sheriff, had taken Mrs. Christie into his office, and in the presence of a small group of witnesses, was questioning her.
What did you pay that masked fella to kill the sheriff?
He didn't kill him, I tell you. He didn't.
If he didn't, who did?
That man right there.
Foster?
Yes, I saw him do it.
Nonsense. I tell you, Lem, the woman's out of her mind. Everyone here knows how she's claimed to be Mrs. Christie, even in the face of direct evidence that she isn't.
You crooked schemer.
Don't start a rumpus, ma'am.
What's more, both Christie here and Dr. English will testify to the fact that I tried to save Munsey's life. When the masked man attacked him, I ran to help Munsey. Unfortunately, I arrived too late.
You fellas will back that up?
He's telling it to you straight, Lem.
He is. We were present and saw the whole thing.
Well, ma'am, what do you say to that?
They're lying. They told you nothing but lies. Sheriff Munsey knew the truth.
You can say that now that he ain't alive to deny it.
Oh, can't you see how you've been fooled? Can't you see how Foster's twisted everything around to make it look as though nothing I say is true? You're giving him just the chance he wants. If you don't stop him, he and his outlaw will sell my husband's property and disappear. Then you'll know the truth, but it'll be too late.
You know, ma'am, I honestly think you believe everything you're saying.
But of course I do. Why wouldn't I when I've only told you the facts?
May I interrupt, Lem?
Oh, sure, Doc. What is it?
I just wanted to say that I've had experience with mental cases such as this before. In each case, the afflicted person is thoroughly convinced of the truth of his particular hallucination. In other words, the fact that she believes what she's saying doesn't indicate that her story has any basis in fact. Quite the contrary. What it really indicates is that her mental illness has progressed to the point where it may be incurable.
Highfalutin language, Doc, but I'll take your word for it. You ought to know what you're talking about, even if I don't. Well, there you are, ma'am. Now, why can't you tell us where that masked fella can be found? We'll go...
You're looking for me?
Hey, what's that?
Don't move. Now, don't keep an eye on them.
That's him, Lem. It's the killer.
I figured as much when I seen the mask. Stranger, I'd advise you
As
to...
long as Foster's doing your thinking for you, Lem, I'll do without your advice. Mrs. Christie, get outside quickly. Our horses are in back.
Please be careful.
We'll be right with you.
You'll hang for this.
You'd already made up your mind to hang me for Munsey's death, Lem, so what's the difference?
You can't...
Come, Tonto. I'll give you some advice of my own before we leave, Lem.
What's that?
In the future, be careful whose story you accept in a case like this.
Blast you,
Never get so interested in questioning a prisoner that you forget to watch the back door.
He's gone. Come on, after him.
Shoot them down!
Missed. They're traveling too fast to get good aim.
You've got to get them, Lem.
You bet I will. I'm forming a posse right now, and I'm bringing them back dead or alive.
The masked man and Tonto, racing from town, did not stop until they had reached their camp. Oh, Silver. Hold it. Let me help you down.
But why are we stopping? Shouldn't we keep on? They'll be after us.
But they won't catch us, Mrs. Christie.
Just the same.
And we've got to decide what to do. I think you understand what I mean.
It's almost the first of the month. Another week.
Exactly. Another week, Mrs. Christie, and your husband hangs. Unless we prevent it.
We must.
And we will.
But how?
That's something I won't know until I'm on the ground.
You mean you're going to Kansas?
I am.
Oh, you're doing so much, and you're a stranger.
Mrs. Christie, you're in trouble, and you're a long way from Texas, where you're known. If Tonto and I didn't help you, I'm afraid no one would. So we'll do what we can.
I wish I knew how to thank you.
Never mind that. We haven't much time for talk. First, we must decide what to do with you.
I'll go with you. I'm strong.
Well, that's impossible. I'm sorry, because I know how you must feel. But Tonto and I must not only travel fast, we've got to be ready for anything that may come up. You'll just be in the way.
But what...
It's too bad there's no one here you can trust who could hide you until we return.
Wait.
Yes?
I just thought I don't know why I didn't remember before, but I do have friends near here.
You have?
It just come back to me. People Tom and I knew well back home. They moved here 2 years ago.
They're people you're sure you can trust?
Oh, yes.
Where are they?
They have a place near Red Springs.
That's not 10 miles away.
Yes.
That's it, then. Tonto will take you there. What's the name?
Their name?
Yes. Who are they? I'll have to know in order to get in touch with you later.
Oh, yes. Their name is Lathrop. Glenn and Mary Lathrop.
I'll remember that. Tonto, Mrs. Christie is riding with you to Red Springs. Get her there as quickly as you can and return at once.
Tonto, do it.
And Mrs. Christie.
Yes?
Don't worry. You can believe me. Your husband won't hang.
In Mercer City, Foster was stuffing clothes into a valise when the door to his room opened and Yank Billings, who called himself Tom Christie, entered.
Hey, what are you up to? I thought I heard you in here.
Hand me those shirts.
Huh?
Didn't you hear me? I said hand me those shirts.
Now, you hold on a minute. What's the valise for? Just where do you think you're going?
To Dodge City.
Huh?
Didn't I speak clearly enough that time either?
What's in Dodge City that you want?
I have business to attend to there.
You wouldn't be running out on me, would you?
Just what do you mean by that?
Just what I said. You never mentioned no business to me that'd take you to Kansas. Seems funny that all of a sudden there'd be some I never knew about. I'm just wondering.
Wondering what?
Well, if maybe you ain't losing your nerve since the masked fella took Mrs. Christy away. I'm just wondering if maybe you ain't planning to clear out, leaving me and Doc English to face the music.
Very well. If I must explain, I must, I suppose. I haven't much time, and I was hoping you'd have sense enough to realize what I had to do without my explaining.
Go on. Explain away. I'm listening.
Yank, what do you suppose is the first thing that masked man will do now that he doesn't have to worry about Mrs. Christie's safety?
I don't know. What?
Head for Kansas, of course. Don't you realize that in a week Tom Christie will be hanged in Dodge City?
You ain't asking me to feel sorry for him, are you?
Oh, you stupid fool. The masked man will try to prevent Tom's hanging.
What can he do?
I don't know. But from what I've seen of him so far, I won't feel safe until I know Tom's been hanged. That's why I'm going to Dodge City also. To see that nothing goes wrong at the last minute.
All right. Then I'll go with you.
Have you forgotten that they're hanging Tom because they believe he's you?
Gosh, I almost did at that.
Tom Christie looks enough like you to be hanged, as long as you aren't around. Put the two of you side by side, however, and the law wouldn't be fooled for a moment.
I reckon that's so, all right.
So you'll stay here. If you have any notion that I'm running away, forget it. I don't run from any fortune until it's necessary. In this case, it isn't. We've got the game in our hands as long as we play it correctly. I'm taking the stage to Wyndham and catching the cars there. The masked man and that Indian will probably ride to Kansas. I'll get there ahead of them easily.
And when you do?
I'll inform the authorities that I've learned of the possibility of a jailbreak. Nothing else will be necessary. Once the law's been warned, I doubt that even the masked man can prevent Tom's hanging.
Well, I'll tell you something, Foster.
Yes?
The way you put it, it sounds all right. Fact is, I ain't doubting you at all. But here's something to recollect just in case you do get notion.
Well?
I've killed men for double-crossing me before, Foster. And I ain't got no objections to killing again. I reckon that's plain enough.
Don't waste threats on me, Yank. Now, hand me those shirts and let me finish packing, or I'll never catch that stage.
Foster, however, had underestimated the speed with which the masked man and Tonto could travel on their great stallions. He didn't know when he approached the office of the sheriff at Dodge City 6 days later that the Lone Ranger and Tonto had reached town 24 hours ahead of him.
Come in.
Sheriff Burgess?
Sure, that's me. What can I do for you?
You mean, what can I do for you, Sheriff?
Huh?
I'll explain. I'd better introduce myself first. My name's Foster. I'm a lawyer. Practice down Texas way.
Yeah?
About a week ago, certain information came into my hands which I felt should be passed on to you.
Information, huh? What kind of information?
I believe you have a prisoner here by the name of Yank Billings.
Sure. He's out back now. He hangs first thing in the morning.
Then, Sheriff, be sure that he does hang.
Huh?
I mean that. Because recently I heard a rumor that friends of Billings would attempt to break him free.
What's that?
I might add, a very well-founded rumor.
Mister, sit down. I think you got some things to explain.
Gladly.
Now then, who'd you hear say this?
Well, I wish I could tell you, Sheriff, but I can't. It was simply information I picked up as part of the conversation among some tough characters in a cafe where I had a drink. No one could tell me who they were.
Whereabouts was this?
At Parsons.
At Parsons? And you heard it a week ago? Why didn't you get word to me afore?
Because I had business of my own to attend to first. And I wanted to tell you of this in person. I was afraid a letter might not be taken seriously enough.
What's your interest in this?
A lawyer's an officer of the court, Sheriff. And as such, I'd naturally dislike seeing a convicted criminal go free.
Uh-huh. Well, this one won't. You know anything about Yank?
Oh, I've heard his name.
Anybody mention to you that he claims he ain't Yank Billings?
Or don't all outlaws claim to be someone else?
Yeah, I reckon most of them do.
Well, who does this fellow say he is?
Huh? Oh, he swears up and down he's handles Tom Christy.
You say Christy?
Sure, why? You know anybody of that name?
Well, I'm acquainted with a Tom Christy in Texas.
Texas, huh? Now, that's funny. What part of Texas?
San Carlos.
Yeah? Then that's the Tom Christy this feller claims to be. We never paid any attention to him, of course, but if you know this here Christy by sight...
You'd like me to have a look at Billings?
Just so, if you wouldn't mind. You see, I know he's Yank Billings, but at the same time, I'd feel a sight better if someone could tell me he ain't Tom Christy.
Well, I'll look him over now, if you wish.
That's fine. I got a redskin working for me a couple of days that I hired yesterday. Must be out back, I reckon. I'll let him take you. Tonto! Hi, Tonto!
Tonto?
Say, you don't know him too, do you?
Know him? Sheriff, I most certainly do.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger drama. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. When Sheriff Burgess called to Tonto, Foster was unable to conceal his surprise.
So you know him, huh? You said that as though maybe it was important.
Well,
Yeah?
Nothing, Sheriff. Nothing.
Didn't you start to say something about Tonto?
Tonto?
Say, what's the matter with you?
You'll have to pardon me, Sheriff. I misunderstood you. That wasn't the name I thought you said. I never heard of an Indian by that name.
Well, I wouldn't think that was a handle easy to mistake. What did you figure I said?
Well, it doesn't matter. It isn't the same.
Well, it seems like the engine didn't hear me. He must be clear in the back. I'll get him if you'll wait a second.
Yes, of course.
I won't keep you long.
You.
Lucky for you, Foster, that you saw these guns. Step over here to the window.
I don't see why. How'd you get here so fast?
If you value your health, don't talk. Just obey orders.
But I refuse
Climb
to.
through the window. Get across this saddle.
You can't.
Hurry.
You won't get away with this.
Steady, Silver.
The sheriff will be looking for me.
But you won't be here to be found. Come on, boy.
Here he is, Mr. Foster. Well, I'll be doggone.
There, no feller here.
Sure enough ain't. But where in blazes did he get to?
That night, not far from Dodge City.
So you came here to warn the sheriff, did you, Foster?
What if I did?
I have to give you credit. You're a crook, but you're clever. You knew I'd be heading this way.
I still don't know how you got here before me.
2 good horses cutting across country can still make better time than the cars, Foster.
Yeah, so it seems.
If I hadn't stopped you, you'd have told the sheriff Tonto was with me.
I would have.
And if you'd been allowed to see Christy, you'd have denied knowing him. You would have claimed he wasn't Christy, making sure he'd hang.
Who's that?
It should be Tonto. I've been expecting him.
Dai, Kimosabe. Aye. Oh, Scout. Oh, feller. Oh.
You're right on time, Tonto.
Me get way soon after you leave.
I'm glad you did. I needed you.
Now, look here, both of you. What are you planning to do with me? I demand that you
You're
let
in
me...
no position to demand anything.
I still
And
say
I'm
that...
going to dispose of you by borrowing an idea you gave me.
That I gave you.
Right. Tonto. The materials you use for disguises are in my saddlebags. Get them and bring them here.
Me get them.
Disguise? What are you talking
You're
about?
just about Tom Christy's build, Foster.
Me?
And about the same height.
What if I am?
Your features are nothing alike, but I think Tonto can remedy that. At least well enough to pass in the dark.
Why, you...
Here. Your thing. Good, Kimosabe. Don't move, Foster.
You can't get away
Tonto,
with...
You haven't prepared a disguise in quite some time. We'll see if you've lost any of your skill. That same night, acting upon Foster's warning, Sheriff Burgess redoubled the guard around the jail.
That you, Sheriff? Yeah. Seen anything out of the way?
Not a thing.
Well, that fellow Foster was likely talking through his hat, but it wouldn't do to take chances. I've got men on both sides watching, and in the rear. I'm leaving you here in front.
Alone?
Well, I was going to have that confounded Injun give you a hand. I don't know where he's got to. Left a while back, but said he wouldn't be gone over an hour. Maybe I'd better call Jake around.
You want Tonto?
Oh, here you are. Why weren't you back afore?
Oh, me not gone long.
Never yet seen the Injun that had any idea of time. Look here, Tonto. If anybody tried to bust in this jail, do you think you'd have nerve enough to drill 'em?
Oh, me not afraid.
Fair shot, are you? Well, if you ain't, Bud here is. You reckon he'll be a help enough, Bud?
Sure. I'd rather have a redskin listening beside me than anybody else. Any shooting might have to be done, I can handle myself.
Good enough. Tonto, any orders Bud gives you, you follow, savvy?
Me savvy.
That's settled. But I'm going around back. If trouble comes at all, that's where it'll most likely hit. But I'll be dropping back every once in a while to see how things are going.
Me and Tonto will keep everything in line.
I'll see that you do.
Well, Injun, you heard what he said. You take your orders for me. You got pretty good hearing? Then keep your ears peeled for any noises you think shouldn't be. We don't want anybody sneaking up on us.
What that?
Huh?
You
Where?
Look by tree.
I don't see nothing. You sure you seen...
Hey, what?
Tonto. It's all right. He's out? You didn't hit him too hard, did you?
Him not hurt.
Good. How much time have I got?
Sheriff come back soon.
Then hurry. I left Foster behind that cottonwood. Get him while I find the deputy's keys and unlock the door.
Me get him.
Here they are. I have to find the right one. Not much time. Not that one. This one doesn't fit. Here's one. Looks like it might do it. Good. Tonto.
Me got him.
He's heavy. I'll give you a hand. Inside with him. You lead the way. Wait.
What matter?
There's someone coming. Tonto, it's Mrs. Christy.
That's bad.
Where'd you come from? I thought we left you in Red Springs. How did you...
I lied to you. I couldn't stay there. I didn't have friends in Red Springs. I just said that so you wouldn't suspect I'd follow.
But what are you doing here?
I came by train, the same train Foster rode. He didn't see me, though. I've been watching the jail ever since. I knew I'd find you that way.
If you're caught here, you'll be jailed yourself.
Please, I want to help.
There's only one way in which you can help.
I'll do anything.
I'll hold you to that. We have work to do in here and no time to waste. Get to those cottonwoods as fast as you can and stay there. We'll meet you as soon as we've finished.
But what...
And your husband will be with us.
You mean
that tonight he goes free if you follow orders.
I will.
Then do as you've been told. Tonto, lead the way back to the cells.
It was scarcely half an hour later that Sheriff Burgess heard a smothered groan as he rounded the corner of the jailhouse.
What the... What in blazes happened? Where's Tonto? Did you get hit? Here, can you get on your feet?
Give me a hand, Sheriff.
Where's Tonto?
Oh, does that dirty redskin hit me, Sheriff? Hit me when I wasn't looking. I just came to. My head feels like it was ready to bust in two.
Yank Billings. That Injun was in on the scheme to bust Yank free. Did he steal your keys?
No, they're here.
That don't mean he didn't take them, then put them back. How much time did he have?
You hadn't hardly gone before he knocked me out.
Almost a half hour. Come on. If Yank's gone...
Door's locked.
You could have locked the door after him, just like they could have returned your keys. Quick, open up.
There.
Yank? Hi, Yank. You there?
You don't answer.
That's his cell ahead there.
Hey, Yank.
I'm betting every doggone dollar I got he's gone. Well, I'll be blasted.
It's him.
And sound asleep. Well, did you ever see the beat?
But the Injun, why'd he hit me? If he wanted out to set Yank loose, then what was he up to?
Well, there's only one guess I can make.
Yeah?
Something must have scared him off before he could finish. Maybe he heard something or thought he saw me coming back.
That could be.
Well, whatever it was, you keep quiet about this, savvy?
Huh?
The boys ever heard what happened, we'd be laughed right out of town.
At About the same time, several miles from the jail,
Tom, I was so sure I'd never see you again. For so long now, I thought you'd been killed.
There, Beth. We're together again. Everything will be all right. Thanks to the masked man and Tonto.
Everything isn't all right, Tom.
But I'm free.
You're free, but the same men who tried to rob and murder both you and your wife are still at large. Yank Billings, Dr. English, Foster.
But you left Foster back there in jail.
He'll be released as soon as they discover the substitution we made.
Then what do you...
There's still work ahead of us. Those 3 men must be exposed and brought to justice once and for all.
I hope they go to jail for life.
After all they've done, they'll be fortunate to get off that easily. Tom.
Yes?
You and your wife go back to Mercer City. Tonto and I'll meet you there.
You're leaving us now?
I want both of you as far from Dodge City by dawn as you can get.
But you, what do you plan to do?
I'm staying behind long enough to see just what happens when they discover their prisoner has escaped.
It was at dawn the following morning that Sheriff Burgess, accompanied by his chief deputy, re-entered the jail.
Well, Bud, this is the hardest part of being a sheriff.
The hanging, huh?
It's nasty work, no matter how long you've been at it. Well, we'll do what our duty calls for. Everything's ready, ain't it?
Just like it should be. There's a crowd gathered outside of the town to see the show already.
The doggone fools.
I wonder how Billings spent the night.
From the way he was sleeping the last time we seen him, it couldn't have bothered him much at all. Yeah, there he is. Still sleeping just as sound as before.
Blamed if he ain't.
Give me your keys.
Yeah, Sheriff.
Hey there, Yank. Wake up.
You ever see such a sound sleeper?
Asleep? Oh, he ain't no more asleep than I am. What in? Look here. He's been gagged and tied. Come on, give me a hand with him.
But who'd do a trick like this?
How do I know? Hurry up and loosen that gag. I'm getting it.
The masked man. You fools, where have you been? Why haven't you let me loose? You've let Billings get away.
This ain't Yank. What? Say, mister, who are you and how'd you get in here? And what did you have to do with Yank's getting away? Answer fast, by thunder, before I go to work on you.
I'm Foster. I'm the man who called on you yesterday.
You're crazy.
Wipe this stain off my face and you'll see.
Let me look at you a little closer. Jumping Jehoshaphat, you are, Foster.
The masked man tricked you. He captured me, made me up to look like Billings, left me here, and took Billings with him.
What masked man? Who are you talking about? What?
Wait a second. Something was just thrown through the window. It's a bullet, Sheriff.
Huh?
A silver bullet.
A silver bullet? You must be loco. There ain't but one man in the whole West uses bullets like them.
Hail, Silver, away!
Look there!
That's him.
A masked man on a white horse. That must be the hombre that threw this here bullet in here. Why, blazes, Sheriff, don't you get it?
A silver bullet? That horse. He called his horse Silver. Sheriff, that's the Lone Ranger.
Sure enough.
I don't care who he is. I demand that you follow that man and bring him back. I demand
Too doggone much. Mister, I don't know why the Lone Ranger done what he done, and I'm going to have plenty hard time explaining this.
You should have.
But I never heard of that masked fella ever doing anything without a good reason behind it. I'm setting tight, and when the time comes, I'm betting I'm going to be darn glad things turned out the way they did.
Hello, Silver! We're heading for Mercer City! Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
Yank Billings, known to the people of Mercer City as Tom Christy, looked up in surprise when the door to his room was suddenly opened without warning.
What the... Oh, it's you, huh? Doggone it, Foster. Why can't you knock when you're coming in?
You're getting too nervous, Yank. Pull yourself together.
Well, I got a right to be jumpy, ain't I? Suppose you and the doc ain't. I suppose...
Forget that. That isn't why I'm here.
Yeah, what are you here for?
Yank, we've got a chance to sell the JX ranch.
We have?
Right. The man who wants to buy it's in the parlor this moment. I told him I'd have to speak to you first.
Is it a cash deal?
It is.
Then what are you waiting for? Bring him in here. With the $50,000 we can get for the ranch, we can clear out and get so far nobody will ever find us.
That's why I had to speak to you.
Hmm?
He isn't offering $50,000. He's offering $30,000. We can take it or leave it.
$30,000 for the JX?
That's his figure.
Then tell him to go to blazes. Why, that'd be the same as handing him $20,000 on a platter. Why should we sell for any such figure?
I can think of a number of reasons why we should if you can't.
But
In the first place, the ranch isn't ours to sell.
Sure not. But we're the only ones around here to know that.
Not the only ones.
Who else is there?
Tom Christy, his wife?
Yeah, with the law after both of them.
And the Lone Ranger.
I'd just like to get my hands on that masked feller sometime. What I wouldn't do to him...
If you have any sense at all, you'll stay as far from him as you can. You'll find it healthier.
Yeah.
Anyhow, with Christie's credentials in my possession, I picked you up and introduced you here under his name. That makes you equally guilty with me.
I know how deep I am in this without your telling me.
Sometimes you need to be reminded. As for English, well, he knows what's in store for him if the law ever discovers he attempted to poison Mrs. Christie when she followed us here.
What's all this palaver for? Why don't you get to the point?
I'm just trying to show you why any offer made us is worth accepting. 30,000, even if it isn't the full value of the ranch, is better than risking exposure and hanging.
Well, maybe so.
If you had intelligence, I wouldn't have to explain all this. You'd be able to see it for yourself. I'm going out there and telling Larson that you'll accept his offer.
You're the boss, if that's the way you want it.
That's the way I do want it. And try to remember when I bring him in here that you're supposed to be a rancher. When he calls you Christie, answer to it. Don't gape as though you never heard the name before.
Kind of uppity today, ain't you?
I'm tired of having everything go wrong. If you spoil things now that we've got a chance to collect our profit, well, I'll guarantee you'll regret it for a good long time.
Now, bring the fella in here and shut your gab.
I will. Don't forget anything I've told you.
You ought to spend more time worrying about yourself making mistakes and less about other fellas.
Mr. Larson?
You talk with him, Mr. Foster? What'd he say?
I think you'll find him agreeable to your proposition, Larson. Of course, you understand that the price you're offering will mean a sacrifice on Mr. Christie's part.
But it's cash money, mister.
Well, that's what persuaded him. Well, for certain reasons we won't discuss, Mr. Christie's in need of cash just now.
Well, when can I see him?
He's waiting for you. Come with me.
Stranger here, ain't he?
Yes. His home and mine are both in Texas.
Thought I heard something of that sort. Mr. Christie a pleasant fellow to deal with?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to judge that for yourself. This is his room. This is the man I spoke to you about, Mr. Christie.
There ain't nobody here.
What the...
You having a joke with me, are you?
Well, he was here just a moment ago. I don't understand.
The window's open. You don't figure the idea of talking business with me scared him so much he snuck out, do you?
Nonsense. He must be somewhere around. I'll see if I...
Who's that?
The masked man.
Huh?
The Lone Ranger. That's where he's gone.
Tonto was waiting when, an hour later, the masked man arrived at their secret camp with his prisoner.
Oh, Silver. Oh, boy.
Blast you to blazes, you...
Get down and keep still.
One of these days, mister, you're going to meddle in my affairs just once too often.
Once too often for the safety of your neck, Yank.
Yeah.
I think you know why I took you prisoner.
Because you can't keep your nose out of other folks' affairs.
Foster had arranged to sell the JX ranch.
What's that to you?
That ranch belongs to Tom Christie, and Tom's my friend. I don't mean to see it stolen from him.
The law's after him, so he and that woman of his don't even dare show their faces.
Thanks to you and Foster.
And what are you going to do about it?
A number of things, Yank. But first of all, I'm making sure that ranch can't be sold. In town, they think you're Tom Christie. No sale can go through without your signature. As long as you're my prisoner, you won't be able to sign your name to anything.
Go to blazes.
Tonto, are you ready to leave? Have you packed supplies enough for the trip?
Me ready.
Then you better get going. You have a long trip ahead of you.
Here, Scout.
Hey, where are you sending them?
To Texas, to be exact, to San Carlos.
What for?
That's Tom Christie's home. Sheriff Price there happens to be another friend of Tom's. I think when Tonto tells him the trouble Tom's in, he'll be glad to return with Tonto and clear it up.
Mister, you got any notion how long it'll take that redskin to get to San Carlos and back?
A month, perhaps.
Just so. And if you think you or anybody else can hold me prisoner for a month, you're loco.
We'll see about that. Ready, Tonto?
Me ready.
Then on your way. And don't return without Sheriff Price.
Me bring him. Get him up, Scout. Get him up.
Stranger, by the time that engine gets back, I'll be long gone from here. Just wait and see.
We'll wait, Yank. And while we're waiting, you'd better make yourself comfortable. I don't think you'll find waiting pleasant, so you'd be wise to make it as easy for yourself as you can.
In the meantime, accompanied by Larson, Foster had lost no time in reporting Yank's disappearance to the sheriff, and...
Lem, that masked man has to be caught. Do you realize what this means to you? Why, he's made a fool of you. Just as though he were to publicly state the law in Mercer County doesn't amount to a hill of beans. This isn't the first time he's done something like this in your county either.
You think I can't handle him, Mr. Foster? You think I'll let him or any other outlaw get away with a stunt like this?
I don't know. You didn't do much the time he took away that woman claiming to be Mrs. Christie just when she was about to be jailed.
Well, that was different.
Well, I don't see the difference.
You'll hunt that fellow down, Sheriff?
You bet I will. Your name Larson?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just what's your interest in this?
Mr. Larson hoped to buy the JX Ranch. Until Mr. Christie is brought back, of course, that's impossible.
Oh.
Well, what are you sitting there for? You're going to get on this trail, or aren't you?
Sure, I'll get...
Sheriff Shelley?
By gravy.
Sheriff, that's the man and woman I just mentioned. This man's Yank Billings. Arrest them both.
I got you covered. Get your hands up.
The gun isn't necessary, Sheriff. You don't think my wife and I would come here voluntarily if we meant to make trouble, do you?
Huh? She your wife?
I am.
My name's Tom Christie.
Christie, nothing. Sheriff, I tell you, this man's Yank Billings. He escaped hanging in Dodge City less than 2 weeks ago.
Foster.
Well?
I trusted you once. Because I trusted you, my property here has been stolen by an imposter, and the lives of myself and my wife put in danger. You'll pay for that, Foster. As surely as I'm standing here, you'll pay for it.
Lem, do you believe this nonsense?
They ain't putting nothing over on me, Mr. Foster. I met up with a woman afore. Ma'am, I recollect how it was proved once already that you weren't what you claimed to be.
And I've already told you once that your so-called proof was false.
Yeah? Well, there's other folks that think different, including myself. There's plenty of folks around here that think you had something to do with Sheriff Munsey's killing.
Sheriff, be careful how you speak to my wife.
And you be careful, mister, how you talk up to the law.
I didn't come here to talk up to you. We didn't come here to argue at all. We came here to surrender ourselves.
Mind if I ask you a question, mister?
That depends on the question.
Well, I been listening to what the sheriff and Mr. Foster here have been saying about you. Seems to me, for a fellow in your position, turning yourself in's a mighty risky business. I was just kind of wondering what made you do it.
We were asked to.
Huh?
By a man we trust.
And who might that be?
The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger?
A likely story.
But true, Sheriff. He promised he'd clear us and prove our identities. In the meantime, he said it might be better if we gave ourselves up and not try to continue hiding from the law. We took his advice.
Which same I'm right grateful you did, mister.
Yes?
But you've made one bad mistake.
You think so?
You met up with a masked man and you done what he told you. But you'll learn that every masked hombre you meet ain't that there Lone Ranger fella.
Oh?
And this one you're speaking of is less likely to be than most others.
That remains to be seen. I know one thing, however. Lone Ranger or not, my wife and I know that he'll help us.
A little more than 2 weeks passed. Tom Christie and his wife did not lose confidence, but the same could not be said of Foster. As the days passed and no clue to the disappearance of Yank Billings was found. One day he was sitting in the cafe with Dr. English and...
English, I wish I could make up my mind what to do.
I don't like this, Foster. I think we should clear out.
Perhaps.
How do we know that masked man isn't bringing witnesses from Texas right now? What if they walk in on us without warning? What do we do then?
That's easy. Hang.
The game's up, I tell you, Foster. There's just one thing for us to do. Clear out and save our hides. If it ever comes out that you hired me to poison Mrs. Christie when she was supposed to be my patient,
Your position is no worse than mine.
I know.
How much money have you?
Why?
Enough to travel far? Enough after you get wherever you're going to keep you until you get established again?
You know I haven't.
Precisely. Neither have I. And that fellow Larson is still in town waiting to buy the ranch if Yank is found. $30,000 for us English. We can only put that sale through. Enough to get us as far as we'll ever need to go.
It's a lot of money.
And worth taking some risk for, in my opinion.
Well, how much longer do you think it will be safe to stay here?
Well, I couldn't even make a guess.
What luck has the sheriff had tracing that masked man?
None at all.
You think Yank is with him?
He must be. Where else could he be?
If there was just something to go on, some way we could find where Yank was hidden. We could get him back here, sell the ranch.
Hold it.
What?
Wait a moment. And look around. That fellow standing at the end of the bar toward the street. He just came in. When you look, tell me if he reminds you of anyone.
Is he looking this way now?
No, it's safe.
There's something familiar about the fellow. I can't seem to place him, though.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Imagine how he'd look if he were wearing a mask.
You mean?
Exactly. If that isn't the Lone Ranger, then my name's not Foster.
But the mask...
He's been known to leave his mask behind and use a disguise. Look at the way he stands. The sight of his shoulders. There, watch him now. He's walking toward the other end of the bar. There's only one man who handles himself like that, English. And that's the Lone Ranger.
Foster, you stay here and keep an eye on him. I'll get the sheriff.
No.
Yes, but
Leave the sheriff out of this. What happens if this fellow refuses to talk after he's arrested?
We'd make him talk.
We wouldn't. I know him better than that.
Do you mean to say we're just to let the fellow walk out of here when he can tell us where Yank is?
Uh-huh, I do.
You're out of your mind.
No, I'm using it.
But
He hasn't seen this English. If you don't attract attention to us, he won't.
What have you got in mind?
When he leaves, we follow.
Yes?
And he'll either lead us to his camp and Yank, or he never had anything to do with Yank's disappearance in the first place.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. The man Foster and Dr. English had noticed in the cafe was the Lone Ranger. Leaving the cafe a few minutes later, he made his way toward the edge of town in a grove of trees, where he mounted Silver and rode off, while Foster and English followed at a safe distance. It was an hour later that the Lone Ranger drew rein at his camp.
Oh, Silver. Oh, boy. Oh, there. How are those ropes, Yank? Too tight?
Not half as tight as a rope's going to feel around your blasted neck someday.
Here, I'll loosen them a little, but don't think you'll be able to work free.
You going to take them off of me?
I'm sorry. If I was staying here, I would. But I have an errand to do. I'm leaving again right away. I just came back to see how you were getting along.
Then get out. Leave me be.
Gladly. Here, Silver.
Hey, wait. How long are you going to be gone?
I'm not sure. Why?
I'm going to be hungry before long, that's why. And I don't like you riding away, leaving me tied up like this. What if something was to happen to you and I weren't never found? I'd starve to death, that's what. It ain't right.
If that happened, it wouldn't be any more than you deserve.
Well,
but don't worry about it. It won't happen. Adios. Come on, Silver. Come on, old fellow.
Rest his rotten hide. I'd like to get him where I wanted him just once. Just once is all I'd ask. And if I didn't make him all fired sorry for... Who called my name?
Keep your voice down, you fool. Come along, English. Safe. Masked man's gone.
Would it be away from here before he gets back?
Doc. Foster. What?
Quiet. English, give me your knife.
Here.
How'd you fellas find me? Did you just happen along or
We'll
what?
talk when I've cut these ropes. How soon will the masked man return?
I don't know, but we got a little time, I reckon.
English and I recognized him in town. That's how we got here. We followed without his suspecting. I was pretty sure we'd find you at his camp.
Gosh. You don't know how glad I am you fellas showed up.
Listen, you can tell us all that later. Right now, there's other things we want to know more. What's he been doing? Has he spoken of his plans?
He's fixing to spoil our whole game.
Yes?
You recollect that redskin part of his?
I do.
Well, he sent him to Texas. Told him to bring back the sheriff from San Carlos. And when they get back, if we ain't going from here, we're done for.
How's the Indian traveling?
By horse.
When did he leave?
The same day that masked fella caught me. I was right here when he gave the engine his orders.
That was about 16 days ago.
It seems more like a month to me.
16 days. It'd take him 2 weeks at least just to travel one way.
Yeah, I reckon it would.
In other words, if the sheriff returns with the Indian, we have almost another 2 weeks' margin to go on. Even if the sheriff doesn't. If he comes by train and stage, we can count on at least 1 week.
Sure, but why should we? Why not make tracks away from here right now?
You're forgetting Larson.
He's still in town?
He is.
With $30,000 that we badly need.
And he still wants to buy?
Why else would he have waited?
Then let's get going.
Right.
Let's get that cash and then make tracks. Come on.
It was the middle of the afternoon when Larson, standing at the bar in the cafe, heard his name called.
Larson?
Huh? Oh, howdy, Mr. Foster. Glad to see you. Join me in a drink?
Not now. I've got news that won't wait. News you'll be glad to hear.
Is that a fact?
We've found Mr. Christy.
You have?
He's at home right now. And he's still willing to sell at your price.
Well, I'd like to hear more about this. Oh, was that masked fellow you was telling me about caught?
No, but you can depend upon it he will be.
Well, I think he ought to be. Imagine him being allowed to get away with kidnapping a fine fellow like Mr. Christy. How is he? Was he hurt or anything?
Oh, he's quite all right. But if you don't mind, Larson, I'll have to take him back an answer.
Huh? An answer to what?
Well, I'm speaking of your purchase of the ranch, of course. You still want to buy, don't you?
Oh, sure.
For $30,000?
Well, I couldn't hardly expect Mr. Christy to be willing to sell for any less.
How soon can you have the money ready?
You in a real big rush?
Well, that is...
Oh, shucks, it don't matter. Today or tomorrow or a week from tomorrow don't make no difference. It's all the same to me.
Then you could have the cash ready today.
Mm-hmm.
Splendid. Mr. Christie will be glad to know it. I'll have the papers drawn up, witnesses ready, and all in order to complete the sale if you call at Christie's place this evening. Is it agreed?
If you want it that way, sure.
We'll expect you around 8.
I'll be there.
And then you'll have to excuse me, Mr. Larson. I'll have a lot to do between now and then. But believe me, you're getting a bargain you'll never regret.
That evening, shortly before the time set by Foster for the sale of the JX Ranch to Larson, Lem Shilley, the sheriff, received a surprise visitor in his office.
Good evening, Lem.
Well, of all the blasted nerve.
You don't sound as though you'd expected to see me.
I didn't, but now that you're here, by gravy...
No, you don't.
Oh, doggone. Where'd anybody ever learn to draw like that?
I'm putting my guns back, Lem, but I think you get the idea.
You dirty crooker.
Didn't Tom Christy and his wife tell you I promised to clear them?
You mean them crooks I got in jail here?
I imagine we mean the same people. They're not crooked, however.
Don't you try to tell me
I did say I was helping them. My coming here shouldn't surprise you. I always try to keep my promises.
Just what are you up to?
Those the keys to the cells on your desk there?
You're trying the same stunt I heard tell you pulled at Dodge City. You're going to break them crooks free.
With your help. Pick up those keys.
Go to blazes.
This isn't a time to be stubborn. I'll tell you just once more. Pick them up.
Blast you.
Now walk ahead of me to their cell. Don't make a move, because I'll be ready for anything you might try.
I said you was going to try that Dodge City stunt.
This time with one difference.
Huh?
You're going with us when we leave.
Say, you can't get away with kidnapping the law.
It happens to be the only way I can make you learn the truth of the situation in spite of yourself.
Hey, look here. It's the masked man.
We knew you'd come.
The sheriff's going to unlock your door and let you out. When he does, you'd better take his guns, Tom, and relieve him of a temptation he might regret later.
Glad to.
You can have your fun now. Mine will come after.
Not unless you get pleasure in admitting a mistake, Lem. Unlock that door. Come out, Tom. You too, Mrs. Christie.
Now what are you doing?
Get outside. I've horses waiting.
Come on, Beth.
Go ahead, Sheriff.
You can't.
And you've done enough talking for the present. From now on, follow orders and keep still.
Later that evening, when Larson arrived at the house occupied by Foster and the man claiming to be Tom Christie, he was admitted at once.
Come in, come in.
Thank you.
Let's see, I don't think you've met Mr. Christie, have you?
Nope. The day I expected to, he plumb disappeared.
Sure did, didn't I? Well, howdy.
Glad to know you.
You've met Dr. English, of course.
Oh, sure.
Good evening, Larson.
We've asked him here to serve as one of the 2 witnesses we'll need. We have a man here working for us who'll be the other.
All set to do business, ain't you?
You bet we are. You got that cash with you?
I'm just as ready as you are. Let me see. Them the papers there on the table?
That's right. I think you'll find them all in order.
Appear to be.
Now then, Mr. Larson, if you'll just satisfy us that you have the money with you.
Oh, there ain't that big a hurry, is there? You wouldn't mind my sitting for a spell, would you?
No, but...
A mighty comfortable place you got here. This your property, too, Mr. Christy, or you're just renting while you're in town?
Why,
I'm afraid I must not have made myself very clear, Mr. Larson. I should have told you that we're quite anxious to get this matter cleaned up as quickly as possible. You see, we haven't...
Oh, I'll be ready in a minute or two.
But is there any objection to completing the sale now?
Just one.
If there's anything you want, just...
I'm waiting for witnesses of my own. It ain't fair for all the witnesses to be your witnesses.
Suppose you're joking.
No, I ain't joking.
But surely you understand that only 2 witnesses are necessary. And as for our providing them, well, that's merely a matter of form. If we'd known you...
I'll wait.
See here, what's this all about? What's this stalling for? If I thought for 1 second that you was up to something, I'd break...
Who, me?
Yeah, by thunder, you.
Mr. Christie doesn't mean just that, Mr. Larson, but after all...
I don't, huh? Well, you just bet I mean it. I don't know about the rest of you, but this looks funny to me. If he really wanted to buy, why wouldn't he hand over the cash and be done with it?
Careful.
I'm tired of fooling. I'm tired of staying in a town I want to get out of. Now, look here, mister. You aim to buy, or don't you?
There's no hurry.
Why, blast you!
What? You fool! What do you think you're doing?
I'm using my head, which is something the rest of you ain't doing. I'm going through his pockets. If he ain't got no cash on him, this is just a trick.
But you can't go through...
And if he has got the cash on him, then we're taking it and making tracks. What's to prevent it? The law won't be after us for this any more than it would be for other things.
Horses. Someone's stopping outside.
If anything's gone wrong...
I'll bet it has. Blast you and your schemes. I bet we're trapped right now.
You are.
Come here, fella. Shoot your way past him. Oh, my hand.
Everyone here stand right where he is. Well, you know what to do, Lem. Arrest these men.
Only one of you make a move. If you do, I'll have to blast you.
What's the meaning of this? Lem, if you've gone crazy, you can't arrest us.
So you think you can't be arrested, huh, Foster?
Price. Sheriff Price.
Right.
I never thought you'd get here this fast. All the way from Texas. I thought it'd be another week at the very least.
So he did fall for the masked man's trick.
Trick?
What trick?
You helped me, Yank.
Me? You're loco. I never. I wouldn't be fooled by no trick of yours or anybody else's.
Remember the day I captured you and took you to my camp?
Sure.
And do you recall the instructions I gave Tonto to ride to Texas and bring Sheriff Price back with him?
What about it?
That had been arranged beforehand. Tonto rode only as far as the railroad and sent a message to Sheriff Price by telegraph. But we had to keep you here until Price could arrive. So we made you think it would take twice as long as it actually did.
Why, you...
And you told us you knew the masked man's plans.
You got us into this, Yank.
No, listen.
You fool. Foster, neither you nor English can boast. You were tricked as thoroughly as Yank was.
What are you talking about?
Sure. That's where I came in. Pretended to want to buy the JX Ranch for minute and ready cash. The masked fella didn't want you lighting out when Yank turned up missing, so he had me dangle some cash in front of you, just to keep you on hand. Funniest thing I ever seen. You knew doggone well you ought to be beating it away from here, but you were so darned anxious to get that $30,000 first that you couldn't get started.
That shows whether you was any smarter than me, in spite of all the years you was giving yourself.
Don't talk to me like that.
I'll talk to you any way I please, you pig-headed idiot.
Why, you...
Here, break it up. You can fight it out in jail. Now get moving.
I demand to know with what I'm charged.
Oh, you do, huh? Well, as long as Sheriff Price vouches for them folks being Mr. and Mrs. Christie like they always claimed they was, why, I reckon their testimony could be taken in evidence.
I don't see
and that being the case, you and your pards here will be charged with everything in the book and a heap besides, and it'll all add up to a hanging.
you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate this episode within your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. Become one of our ranch hands and unlock some exclusive content. We want to thank the following ranch hand, Steve, who joined us recently. You too can join by going to OTRWesterns.com/donate. Send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com, and you can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyright under the attribution, non-commercial, share-alike copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.